What's up everybody, it's Mike back again today, MF Vape. Thanks for tuning in to the channel and welcome to anyone new, and I hope you're all doing very well. Right, what have we got for you today, guys? I'm going to try not to laugh, but we have got the Doggy style RTA from SXK, and it's sitting on top of the double barrel here, version 2.1 by Squid Industries. Review is up on the channel if you like to check this one out. But onto the RTA, this is a 22mm diameter RTA. It's suitable really for your mouth to lung style vaping. You've got a 510 drip tip on there. It's made out of a polycarbonate, this glass section, so it's not actually glass. But what we do is we go down low, I'll show you the box it comes in, go through all the features and the specs. I'll put some wick in the build that I've already got in it, and then we'll come back up top and I'll tell you what I really think about the Doggy style RTA by SXK. Okay, see you down there in a bit. Right, we're down at the table, guys, with the Doggy style RTA. Here's a quick look around this box it comes in. Very familiar, such with all 3F Vape products. So we just take the stuff out the tube and we are presented with a bag of O-rings and 2 spare flathead screws for your deck section. And here is the Doggy style RTA. Now you can just see the Doggy style writing on the side there. It's just printed on in some sort of black. We've got a 510 drip tip with a very narrow bore to it. Just see through there. It's got 2 O-rings that hold it on. A couple of heat fins there for dissipating the heat, should you get any. And here's the top section. Now all this piece is actually joined on. The chimney section you can remove, and I'll show you that in a second. But we've got airflow that just comes through this particular slot here, and it is adjustable. This ring does come off, but you can just adjust it down there. There's no stopper on it there, it just keeps spinning. And I'll just show you how you can take it off in a second. But here's the underside, and there you can see your gold plated 510 pin with the peak insulator. Right, so to unscrew this, you actually really need to take this ring off. So that comes off like so. And there you can just see the inside of it. And it's held on by one O-ring here. And there's the airflow slot. So this section can be quite stiff as well, because this is like a polycarbonate. It's not actually glass, this section. So the threads are actually threaded onto the plastic, which isn't ideal. So we just have a quick look at this chimney section here. Now this piece here I managed to undo, so the only way you can fill it up is actually by unscrewing from the base and filling up through here, which is a little bit of a con. But there's the reduced chamber chimney section. You have got a nice bit of dome in there, which does help with the flavour. Right, and here is our deck section. So you see you've got a nice fat over in there which keeps the tank in place. And I've just got a 2.5mm inner diameter coil pre-installed in this one. It's very easy. Basically you just trap your leads, one on the positive side and one on the negative. Okay, I've managed to work out. It's this is the positive block there, and the peak insulator just underneath all of this section here. So this section here is all insulated by the peak there to separate it from the negative, which is joined on to the actual base there. This 510 pin, if you unscrew it, it will remove this positive block. So your cotton basically just hangs down here, and you just want to have it just so it's at least hanging just underneath here, or it depends on yourself basically. I've just have it just like halfway between here and the bottom of the deck. Right, I've got it on the Colossal by Asmodus. Right, so I think this is a Canthal coil we got in here. I've just got, I think it's 5 wraps. Yeah, 5 wraps. It's coming out at 1.07 ohms, and as you can see, it's bedded in nicely because it's a space coil, so no dramas at all. Right, it's a piece of Muji cotton here. Now I believe you only need around about 0.5 centimetre on this one. So just try that. As always, I usually take the top and the bottom layer off, so it's a little bit rougher. Right, so then we can just roll this piece up. Try and find the hole. There we go. Twist as you put it on through. Little floss. And there we go. Right, so then we can just hold the cotton down like so. Use that as a guide. And then just cut around about there, I believe. Then we'll just eyeball it on the other side. Somewhere around about there. Fluff up the cotton a little bit. Right, so it's basically just a case of tucking on this cotton through into here. Now you might want to put some droplets of e-liquid on, which I'm going to do, but I'll just get it started first. Now if you just make it a little bit damper, it helps feed the actual cotton into where it should be going. Right, it might be slightly too much cotton there. We'll just give that a little trim. Really, you don't really want it touching the bottom of the base if you can help it. So we're just going to pull that one out slightly. Just pull this section through a little bit. A little bit more. It's too much. There you go. So we can fill this up. Probably better to use a finer needle tip bottle, but there you go, this is what I've got. Right, remember your airflow control ring. Right, it's the side where the airflow hole's closest to the top. So it's maybe a good idea to just get a little bit of e-liquid, put it around this O-ring, because otherwise you could end up tearing the O-ring. So do that first, and then as you're putting it on, just spin it round and then it should find its way. And there you go. Right, so that is the doggy style wicked up, and now we're ready to go up top, and I'll tell you what I think about this doggy style RTA clone by SXK. Okay, see you up top in a bit. Back up top, guys, we've got the doggy style RTA by SXK. Still sitting on the double barrel here. Yeah, I've had this for just over 2 weeks now, and I've been getting on rather well with it. So I think we're going to go into the pros this time today, guys. I like the fact that it's got a 510 drip tip. You can put your own drip tips in, which is very good, because one minor con that I've got, the drip tip's very good and it's got a nice narrow bore, so you get a nice concentrated vape. But I don't like stainless steel in the mouth, so I've been finding it better with the K-Fun Prime style RTA drip tip on it. So that's good that you can actually put your own drip tip on there. I think it holds, what does it hold? It's 22 millimeters in diameter, by the way. It's 30 millimeters in height as well, which is quite a nice, short, stumpy RTA, which I like. And it holds 3.5 milliliters of juice. And when you're only vaping it around 14 or 15 watts, because I've got like a 1 ohm build in this, 1.05 ohms, that juice lasts you most of the day. If you're like you're at work and you're not vaping continuously, you know, if you want to conserve on juice and spending money, get yourself a mouth-to-lung RTA. Put the juice up to 6 milligram or 9 or whatever you feel you need, and you save yourself a fortune in juice. So that is a massive, massive pro. Yeah, the flavour is really good on this one. It really is not a bad flavour at all. The trouble is, now I've had the SXK K-Fun Prime, that is like your creme de la creme of clone mouth-to-lung RTAs out there. So it's not as good as that, but it's a pleasurable vape. Like, I'm rocking it with the airflow wide open, because I like a loose mouth-to-lung. I'm a direct-to-lung vapor, but if I'm doing mouth-to-lung, I like it to be nice and loose. And it gives a very nice flavour and a long hit you can have on it. Just watch this. I'm going to put it up to 16 watts. Plenty of vapour, and the flavour just really does pop. Because of the way it's designed, it's sort of semi like a GTA style. Like, I've had no trouble with this wicking at all. It just laps up the juice, because it seems quite wide, even though it's only a 22 mil. Because the chimney's so narrow, there's lots of juice to flow around and go underneath and feed those wicks to the core. So yeah, it really is simple to build on this one. And it wicks like a champion. So if you're all for like simple builds and not really worrying about your wicking, this is one RTA for you. But of course there's going to be some cons, because I find cons of everything. And this has got one big con for me, is the fact that this glass is not actually made from glass. It's like a some sort of plastic, polycarbonate. And you've obviously got your stainless steel base and you're threading it onto plastic, and I always think that in time that's going to end up stripping the threads that are on the plastic. So that is a real shame that they didn't just use a piece of Pyrex or something like that on this tank. So that is con number one. The second con is the airflow. Once you've got it on there and it's juiced up, it's easy to adjust, but there's no stopper on it, and it comes off very easy. But it's a good job it does come off very easy, because if you try and unscrew this with the actual airflow ring on, it just spins and spins, and you'll find that when you've got it cranked up, it just doesn't undo the base. So the only way I've been managing to do it is pull that off, and and then you can get some purchase on it and undo it. But of course, because this isn't a top fill RTA, this leads me on to another con. You have to actually expose the deck, put your juice, your tank down, and then fill it up from this way round, which is a bit primitive really, but I think this actually came out in 2016, but even so, like I really find that a pain in the arse to have to refill it by doing that. And you also, the fact that you have to take that airflow control ring on, like, I was like, what a pain in the backside this really is. And at first I was thinking, I'm not going to enjoy this. Another con I've noticed, these O-rings, you need to make sure they're lubed up, because I'm sure I noticed the other day I had a bit of a frayed O-ring on it, so they're not the best in the world. And that's the thing with when you're buying copies or clones for, like, I think I paid something ridiculously cheap for this. It might have even been $10. So what's that, £7? You can't really expect much for that, can you? But it shows you really what the authentic would be like, and I'm not sure how much it would be, but it's probably like €100 or something like that. But the advantage of clones for me is I know a lot of people slate them, but I may well go out and buy the original because I like the vape on this so much. And all these cons I got on here, I'm hoping like the original would not have. But yeah, one day I might buy one, but at the moment I can't afford to spend that much money on an RTA. But yeah, so that's really your pros and cons. But the fact that the flavour is so good on this, I've got to give it a big thumbs up to SXK. Like, it's a really good, flavourful, mouth-to-lung style RTA. So that about wraps it up for this one, guys. And if you're new to the channel, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. And that goes to all of you. All these thumbs up make us reviewers feel a little bit good inside, you know. It makes us feel like it's all worthwhile. And please leave a comment down below if there's anything you want to ask me on any of my reviews. I always do my best to answer. It might not be straight away, but I'll always endeavour to answer each and every one of those comments, so please do that. You can also check me out on Facebook. I'm called Mike Forber on there, MF Vape Reviews in brackets. And you can also check me out on Instagram, MF_Vape, and on Twitter, which is Forber_Mike. So yeah, it'd be great if you could join me on any of those social media sites. I've also got my own website, which is mfvape.co.uk. All of my reviews are on there, and I've also got like galleries on there, blog, my vlogs, like stuff like that. It's not, it's only a simple website, but it's something you might want to check out, and I'd be very grateful if you could. But that's it for today's, guys. Thank you all for watching so much, and until the next one, I'll see you again very soon. Okay, cheers.